Okay, so I sort of had a computer glitch there. They made an announcement. I paused it, and instead of restarting it, I stopped the video. So this is why you have a part 2. I apologize. All right, so we were talking about perpendicular bisector here and coming up with the equation of this purple line. So I found the equation of the original line. Then I have to figure out I found the slope of the original line, and now I got to figure out the slope of the new line if it's perpendicular. And if you remember from years past, it's just the opposite reciprocal. So the new slope, the perpendicular slope, is going to equal the reciprocal and the opposite, which is going to be 3. So that's going to be part of my new line. The next thing I need to do is find the midpoint of the line they gave me. If I do that, then I'm going to have a point that's also on this line. So I just use the midpoint formula. I add my x's together, divide by 2, add my y's together, divide by 2, and I have the midpoint. Which is 4 divided by 2, 2, 10 divided by 2, which is 5. That's the midpoint. So I know that this is the slope of the new line, and this point is also on my new line. Now I can use point-slope form to write the equation. And remember, this is, when you use point-slope form, you're plugging in the point right here for x1, y1. So I'm going to label this just so I don't forget x1, y1. So I'm going to use point-slope form to write this. Y minus 5 equals my new slope, 3 times x minus 2. Point-slope form, and I'm just going to put it into y equals mx plus b, which is what we're most familiar with. So y minus 5 equals 3x minus 6. I just distributed. And then I'm going to move things around so it looks like point slope, and I would get this 3x minus 1. Boom. We just came up with the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line that connects these 2 points. Pretty cool. All you got to do is find the new slope, the perpendicular slope, find the midpoint, which gives you a point on this line because they share that point, and then you just plug it into point-slope form. Okay, I'm going to do this one because we get some funky fractions, so I just want to show you what that's going to look like. I'm just going to kind of go through it quickly. The first thing you do is find the original slope. Change in y over change in x, and I'm just going to tell you that the original slope is 4. Then the perpendicular slope is the negative reciprocal of this. So m equals negative 1/4. This is a whole new line, by the way. We're not talking about this anymore. Okay? We have a new line here connecting these points, and we're trying to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector. All right, so then the third step says find the midpoint, because that's a shared point between those two lines. So I add the x's, divide by 2, add the y's, divide by 2, and the midpoint is going to be negative 2, negative 2. All right, so now I have the slope of the perpendicular bisector, and I have a point that's on the perpendicular bisector. So now I can use the point-slope form to write an equation. So it's going to be y minus this y, which makes it plus 2, equals my slope. Remember, I'm just using this equation here. My slope, negative 1/4 x minus my x, which is going to be plus 2. And then I'm just going to convert that into y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I have to do is distribute the negative 1/4. Negative 1/4 times 2 is negative 2/4, which equals negative 1/2. Oh boy, I got to move this all around. Obviously I don't have common denominators. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to convert everything so it has a denominator of 4. Okay, so if this is 2 over 1 to start with, and I'm going to make it a denominator of 4, it's going to be y plus 8 over 4. This already has a denominator of 4. This is going to be negative 2/4. Now I can move stuff around. So I'm going to subtract 8/4 from this side to get y by itself and get it into y equals mx plus b form. When I subtract 8/4, it looks like this. And then the last thing you have to do is just reduce this fraction to negative 5/2. And then you're done. Voila!